Hi folks, Joseph Kursky here at the Colorado School of Mines campus. Let's talk about what we will do in the GEGN590 course. Specifically, focusing on your GIS project, I encourage you to follow these 5 guidelines for a successful project. First, be creative. Start with the list of projects that I provide in the course, or choose something that you care about. Either way, something that will motivate you during this course, and even in the future, should you want to keep working on it. It could be something related to a job you have outside of your coursework, or a job that you would like to have as a future employee doing after you graduate. Second, ask questions. Questions lead to good inquiry, investigation, and tenacity with following through on investigations and work with GIS software. So be creative and ask questions. The second main guideline here is to be brief. This isn't a huge, large final project, unlike large final projects you may have been assigned in other courses. Here it's rather something doable in a short time you have to work on it, basically 8 weeks. Many GIS projects spend multiple months or even years. 8 weeks is not really that long to work on a project, so you must be organized and focused on something that is achievable. How to focus. Guideline number 3. Let's say you're interested in selecting ideal locations for solar energy. Instead of optimal solar energy global locations, you could focus on a specific area of the world, or focus on a specific type of solar energy and use case, such as selecting the ideal locations for a photovoltaic solar power stations in San Bernardino County, California. That would be achievable and doable. Other ways to focus are to limit the types and scales of spatial data that you will use, the variables that you will choose, the analysis techniques that you will use, and the geovisualizations, story maps, dashboards, etc., that you will use to communicate your results. Those are other ways to focus. But despite my guideline about focusing and making it achievable, don't let these limitations or these guidelines discourage you from dreaming big and bold. By all means, place those larger goals into your recommendations on how you would expand your project if you had more time, more resources, more budget, etc. In your report and presentation, include a description indicating what you would have liked to do if you had had more time to work on your project. Indeed, your project must include recommendations from your perspective as someone knowledgeable about your chosen topic. If you look at research articles out there, chapters in books, etc., they do have usually recommendations as to move this forward, to further the research in this area. You don't want to say this is the end-all be-all, but okay, you or someone who could read your presentation could say, I can take that, I know where they got the data set, I know what analysis they used, and run with it, right? You want to encourage scientific inquiry beyond your own project and beyond your own resources. So make recommendations and don't be afraid to dream big and bold. Number 5, the guideline I have here is consider choosing either from my list that I provide in the course or your own project idea. But either way, make it something that's related to perhaps, again, something that you're working on at work, your job outside of your role as a student, or something that you can continue working on and are interested in working on after this course ends, even for the course that occurs after this course, and or for your own professional portfolio and or for other classes. Most importantly, it should be something that you care about. That's something that you're passionate about, something that you can't stop thinking about, okay? Those are my guidelines for the project, and I hope they're helpful. Glad you could join me for this course.